Welcome to Business Authority Radio, bringing you insights from today's thought leaders, professionals, and influencers. With your hosts, Neil Howe and Craig Williams.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe, and today my special guest is Cedrick West. Cedrick West is the CEO of C.S. West and Associates, PA. He helps small businesses increase their cash flow and profitability by performing a full review of his clients' business structure, internal controls, and accounting to understand how their businesses work. Cedrick takes a proactive and comprehensive approach to help his clients reach their financial goals. C.S. West provides virtual CFO, consulting, accounting, and taxation services for small businesses in the healthcare, nonprofit, and professional service industries. Welcome to the show, Cedrick West.
Well, thank you for having me, Neil. And it's a pleasure to be here on the show and to speak about how we help small businesses. And it's really it's a pleasure for me to be on the show. And so I want to thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time as well to share your knowledge with our audience. So let's get right to it and find out exactly what you do at C.S. West and Associates and how you're helping your clients.
Okay.
So go ahead and tell us what you do at C.S. West and Associates and how you're helping your clients.
Okay. Well, as you stated, I am the CEO of C.S. West and Associates, PA. We are a CPA firm located here in Tampa, Florida, but we do service throughout the United States as well. And we focus particularly on nonprofits, self-employed business owners in the healthcare industry, such as physicians, dentists, chiropractors, etc., and professional service businesses as well, such as attorneys. So that's our main focus and our dear clients that we work with. And there are three ways in which how we help them as well. The first one is uncertainty. We ensure that their finances are correct by understanding the financial health of their business and being able to, and being competent in the industry as well. Because what happens is that most business owners, when they start out, or if they have 2 to 3 partners or employees, they tend to do the bookkeeping or the accounting themselves, and they think that they're able to do it and manage it. But oftentimes we find out when we speak to some of our clients is that they have uncertainties when it comes to their financial statements. For example, it could be where they may have miscoded something incorrectly, or they don't know how to record a certain transaction and things of that nature. So they are unsure if their numbers are correct. And what happens is that sometimes when your financial statements are incorrect, then that forces you to not know what decisions to make. And so that's one of the things that we go in and assist our clients with is by understanding their financial health, we get a full analysis of their internal controls, their business structure, to see what's really going on to better prepare them for the future.
Mm-hmm. So uncertainty is one of the components that you look at. What are the other ones?
Time. See where they're spending their time at, and again, that's another big factor too. When business owners take on multiple tasks. I'm a business owner myself, and I know that we wear many hats. And I know where I need professional services in certain places. As far as building a website, I'm not going to go and try to do it on my own. I mean, I could learn the skill. However, it's better to have a professional to know. To build the website, for example, because they know things that I wouldn't know. And oftentimes many business owners, they spend a lot of their time doing accounting, making sure that their finances are correct, versus just giving it to a professional who knows their industry, who knows their business, And they get use that time where they was wasting on trying to build up their financial statements, and they can spend that time more on revenue generating activities, such as finding ways to increase sales or increase their clientele. And the third way,
there's a great book out there actually by Perry Marshall. He's known for the Google AdWords guy, but he's got a great book out there. It's called 80-20 Marketing. And he talks about doing $10 per hour income activities, $100 per hour income activities, or $1,000 or more per hour income activities. And I think that's really what you're saying right there. You shouldn't be doing $10 an hour activities when you should be doing $1,000 an hour activities. That's where your time is best spent. So stay in your lane.
Yes, and I understand where you, as a business owner, you feel like you need to take on everything because it's your business. But at the same time, as you mentioned, it's if I'm wasting all of my time, or if I know that I'm devoting all of my time on the $10 activities, then I'm not going to grow my business. I won't make any money. I need to pawn that off to other professionals who could do it at a faster rate and better than I can, while I focus on the $1,000, $2,000, $1 million deals that will grow my business. And thirdly, another way in which how we help businesses in our area is by saving money. Because there's a misconception that hiring a CPA is costly and they rather spend that money elsewhere. But what we have done is we've shown our clients by choosing us, it's more of an investment than a cost because of the expertise that they receive and the increase in their cash flow and the profitability that they can achieve by using a professional such as a CPA and us. Because it's better to make the investment now than to make all your mistakes and then you come back to us 3 months, 6 months, or even a year from now and say, I've made a mistake. Can you go back and fix it? Because then that costs you more money if we have to go back and fix the errors that was made to figure out what's wrong, what type of decisions have you made that caused these errors. So I always tell people that it's very cost effective to have someone such as to have us to come on board as early as possible, because it's really going to cost you later. I know I have my experience. When I was mentioning with the website, I tried to build it on my own, but it ended up costing me more time, it ended up costing me more money because I didn't know all the ins and outs of building a website. So I paid money in different areas where if I should have just followed my intuition the first time and hired a professional as early as possible, then all of that would have been solved early on. So those are ways in which how we help our small business clients.
Yeah, and I think that's extremely important for business owners to understand. There's many small businesses where it might just be one person that's trying to do everything, like you mentioned. But if they can stick to those tasks, they're going to make money. Then they can outsource all the rest of the stuff that just takes so much time, because ultimately time is the resource that we all run out of.
Correct. Yep. That's true.
Let's talk about some of the issues that a small business owner might have in running their business. What do you run into most that is stopping them from making money?
Okay, there are many factors that cause them to not make money. One of the misconceptions of that is them not understanding accounting. They don't understand the numbers. They look in what's in the bank. They're looking at their cash, and they're running their business based on the cash that's in the bank. But they don't realize that you may have cash in the bank, but your business is losing money. And sometimes it's hard to make that connection if you're not in if you're not an accountant or if you don't understand, how can I have $20,000 in the bank, but I'm losing $30,000 a year? And so that's one of the problems that we run into, is that business owners, they're not fully understanding the message behind the numbers and the message of having correct financials as well. And secondly, I think probably even as big as the first one, is hiring the wrong people to do the finances. I understand that you want to save money, or you just want someone to be as cost effective as possible. But at the same time, if they don't know your business, if they don't know your industry, that could end up causing you a lot of stress, a lot of time, and a lot of money, because you have to go back to fix everything. And essentially, your financial statements, you're basing your decisions. For example, should I expand or should I hire new employees based on your numbers? And so if you don't have a good understanding of your numbers, then you're going to make the wrong decisions, or you're going to make decisions that are going to cost you more in the long run versus having the correct financials in the short term.
So it seems in a lot of these programs that are on television with like The Profit or Tabitha takes over, these shows where they go in and then try and fix businesses, the business owners tend not to know their numbers, or even Shark Tank. It's important that they know their numbers. At what stage do you say a business owner should hire an accountant to keep track of this?
I would say as early in the stage as possible. And we do have different services, depends on the size of the businesses and depends on what is it that they're looking for. For example, we have outsourced accounting that we could do quarterly or monthly or biannually if they are slow in starting up, or if they want us to come in and do a small consultation or an evaluation on their finances. But I would definitely say as early as possible, because when you have investors, when you have some of the business owners that go on The Profit, or if they go on Shark Tank, and with them not understanding, the product that they're selling, for example, knowing how to price it, how to make money, how much money, or how many products must they sell in order to break even. Those are some of the things that they miss out on, because they have software, such as QuickBooks and Xero and other cloud accounting software, which is very good for small businesses, and especially with the automation process, is very good. But again, that does not eliminate the knowledge you need for the accounting standards. That doesn't change the way how you recognize revenue, and that doesn't change the way how you must adhere to certain rules, such as GAAP, for example. So definitely early on, early in the stage as possible, because what you're going to run into, as we talked about earlier, is making those mistakes early on, and then which is going to cost you a lot later on.
So what do you think are some of the misconceptions about the accounting industry that prevent people from hiring a CPA like yourself early in their business life?
One of the misconceptions is the fear of losing control over their finances. And what I tell clients or even prospects is that we don't seize their finances. It's more of a partnership. I'm not taking control of your finances or your decision power. Ultimately, the client, they have the final decision when it comes to their business. What we do is that we provide clarity when it comes to their numbers. We teach them to think bigger and we allowed them to make bolder financial decisions because they are more confident, with the financial data that they have to make the business decisions that they need in order to succeed. So that's one of the misconceptions of, if I hire an accountant that would an outsourced accountant, I'm losing control of everything, and that's entirely untrue, because we work hand in hand. We work as a partnership. We focus big on educating our clients, because at the end of the day, the business owner, the CEO, the business owner, the VP, all the executives, they must know the financial health of the business. And that's our job, is to educate them and to teach them how your financial health of your company affects the business decisions that you make. And that could prove very detrimental to a small business who don't have that type of understanding when it comes to finances. And the second popular misconception when it comes to CPAs, and what I run into a lot, is that they think we only specialize in bookkeeping and taxes, which we go far beyond just bookkeeping and taxes. Mainly what we do is that we help with the direction of their business by performing strategic planning with them. We help them save money by knowing which for example, their expenses, if it's high or if it's low, based on the nature of their business. We help them save money in that aspect. And then lastly,
I think with many businesses, especially in the elementary stage, or maybe just a small business that doesn't do too much money, they don't have that strategic plan that you were talking about. So they don't really know which direction they're going. They're in business. They see that they're making some money. They're selling their services or products, but they don't really have a plan, and they get caught up in these emotional decisions that can ultimately hurt them.
Yes, that's totally correct. And we have seen before that clients that they're making a substantial amount of money, but they had no plan. They were still using Excel spreadsheets, and which in this day and age, and to be quite frankly, I have experienced just about maybe 40% of some of the business owners that we talked to. I was very surprised that they're still using Excel spreadsheets, or they're writing it down in a notebook, and that's how they run their business.
Mm-hmm.
And in this day and age with technology, I was very surprised of seeing the amount of people still using that method. And
is technology a fear for some business owners, especially, the millennials obviously grew up with this, but, as people get older, they're not quite in touch with the same technology as the younger ones are. Is that holding people back?
Yeah, that could be a reason. And especially with the recent hacks of cybersecurity, and there's a lot of identity theft that's going on. So, as a business owner, you do have to think about that and making sure that your financial data is safe. However, at the same time, there are many other cloud services that's highly secure, that will help protect your information. It's one of those decisions that those business owners who still doing it by the Excel spreadsheets and by paper, where they want to go in the future, and they're going to need certain types of resources and mechanisms and metrics, and looking at their KPIs that they doing it manually, or the Excel spreadsheets is not providing them. And so that's very important for them, for those business owners to make a decision on where is it that I want to take my business, and then how can I get there? And that's exactly where we come in, to help them make that plan, to help them strategize and to just go far beyond just crunching the numbers. Because as I stated before, essentially every decision that they make about their business comes from the financial statements, comes from the accounting department. That's one of the foundations of their business. And so and having the right tools and the focus in that area will allow them to succeed.
Mm-hmm. So walk me through what a strategic plan would be for a local business.
Well, one aspect that we work in is when we have an initial consultation, we get an understanding of their needs, their pain points, and their issues, and we ask like deeper questions as far as how are you utilizing your financial statements to make short-term and long-term decisions? Because we need to understand, number one, if they're budgeting, and that's another issue that we run into. A lot of small businesses, they jump into, they start their business, but they don't budget, in which that's very critical. If you want to strategically grow your business, you have to budget. You have to know how much money you're going to allocate to each category of your expenses, and just to get a perception of how much things cost. And that's where we come in, to help them realize that you really need to budget and forecast. Because if you don't know how much health insurance is going to cost you in 6 months, and if you're hiring on 4 or 5 employees, if you don't have that forecast or that budget, you don't know how much it really costs. So that can really hurt a business, especially a small business where you don't forward think and see and forecast how you want to grow your business as well. So we have those strategy sessions. We ask them, how do you want to grow your business short term, and how you want to grow your business long term? And we ask them to see if they have a budget, and if they have forecasting. And if they don't, we assist them with building a budget and to assist them with forecasting their numbers, so that they know which decisions to make, how their company is projected to grow based on numbers and different projections that we can enter into the system with them. So that's just one scenario. And another scenario when it comes to the strategic planning is looking at their pricing structure and pricing strategies. For example, if you have a healthcare, or if you own a dentist practice, and not knowing how much is your break even, for example, you don't know how much to charge your patients when it comes to different services. If it's an oral surgery, or if it's a root canal, things of that nature, we strategize with them to let them understand, like, your pricing point. Yes, and then most times what happens is that business owners, they just put a price on it and say, for example, a root canal is going to be $1,000, without taking the time to strategize. Is this the correct price point for me to make money, to pay my employees, and to pay all the other expenses? So we help them to build a strategy around their pricing structure as well.
So one of the fears maybe that some local business owners have is just there's so much to do, there's so many hats to wear, but hiring a CPA to go over this kind of stuff is going to help. But how much work is still involved for them on a monthly basis to keep up with all this stuff?
It definitely depends, but the work is there, and I would say it is a lot of work that they have to make sure that that they understand. Because as a business owner, you have to think more on the level of growing your business. And sometimes we ran into where we ran into a situation, you had a business owner that was doing the work, they was building the website, they was doing all these other hats. But I told them, you have employees that could facilitate or that could take over some of those roles for you. As a business owner, what you need to think about is how can you grow your business? And these are the types of ideas and thoughts that you really need to have. And even though that it does take time, taking the time to think on how can I price and or how price how am I pricing my service? Is that making me money or losing money? Or taking the time to sit with us to budget and do some forecast numbers that would make them more readily available to take on any unforeseen activities or events that may happen in the future. And so that's why I encourage that. Yes, it's a lot of work, but we are here together. This is a partnership, because I want you to understand this is the message behind your numbers. This is exactly why you're losing money, because of you not pricing right, or because of you have a lot of accounting errors in your financial statements. That's why you're losing money and you're making your decisions based on incorrect financial data.
I definitely like how you broke it down at the start. It's that uncertainty. You think you're making a little bit of money and you're doing well, but all of a sudden tax time comes round and you've got to pay out, and you find out you didn't make as much money as you thought. We talked about spending the time in the right place, making sure that you're selling and you are doing the activities that make sense for your business and not wasting your time on those $10 tasks. And ultimately, it's about saving money. Hiring a CPA is going to save you money because they're going to help you organize everything. So tell me, Cedrick, a little bit more about you now. Why did you get involved in numbers, and why did you become a CPA?
Okay. It started off my sophomore year in college. Actually, it was my wife who got me. My wife now, she was my girlfriend at the time, but she got me into accounting because she loved numbers. I love numbers, and I was majoring in business admin at the time. And so she took me to one of her accounting teachers, and then we started to talk about the industry. And naturally, I just love numbers, but not just numbers, explaining what the numbers mean as well. And I thought about it, and I was like, "What? I could really make a living off this." And I love helping people. And I'm like, "Well, what better way for me to help people is to become an accountant and become a CPA and to help businesses grow." And that's one of the reasons why, one of the main reasons why I became a CPA and then eventually opened up our own CPA practice. It's because I love helping people. I love seeing a company going from point A to point B, to expanding their practice, to acquiring more businesses. And just to know that I was a part of that, and by my expertise and my knowledge, I help that business owner to achieve their goals. So that's one of the main goals that always going to stick with me. When it comes to accounting, but yeah, it started off with my wife just telling me about accounting and the type of fields that you could get into, and I saw that it's at the time, there's job security in there. I could go into many different fields, such as taxes, forensic accounting. I could be a fraud examiner. I could be an auditor. I could be a strategic leader. So there was many variations that I could get into with accounting as well. So I saw that as an opportunity to.
It's definitely an industry where we'll always need somebody to go over the numbers for us. I think a large percentage of the population just don't know numbers at all, get scared by numbers, and need somebody like yourself, Cedrick, to handle that for them. So how can someone find out more about Cedrick West and C.S. West and Associates?
Well, you could definitely find out more by going to our website at cswestcpas.com. That's CSWEST.CPAS.com. And we have a lot of resources as well. And, each month or each week, we're uploading different resources, which if you go in there now or after the interview, Neil, you will see that we have like different ebooks as well, and to helping you to choose a business structure, between, and we give you the advantages and disadvantages between the C Corp and S Corp, and there's other resources as well that will help you as the business owner as well. So you could definitely go on our website, or you could give us a call at 813-344-1784, or you can send us an email at Cedrick West, that's CEDRICKWEST at cswestcpas.com. And then just ask me any questions. I'm always here to help. I have my phone on me all the time, so if you call me, you can certainly email me or just go through our website just to get in contact with us. Or if you're on social media, you could definitely look us up by C.S. West and Associates PA on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn as well, and Instagram. So we're on all social media platforms. So there's various ways in which you could contact us, and I'm looking forward to really working with more individuals and working with more business owners, and to helping your business grow. And Neil,
well, Cedrick, I appreciate you being on the show today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with our audience, and thanks for being a guest on Business Authority Radio.
Well, thank you, Neil. I really appreciate you all extending this invite to me to be a part of your show, and I'm looking forward to future invitations as well, especially with the new tax reform that's coming up, and I'm planning to do a webinar within the next 2 to 3 weeks about some of the updates and changes, and so I know that's on a lot of people's mind right now when it comes to the taxes and things of that nature. So, but I just want to give you another thanks, Neil, and I'm just looking forward to being on future shows with you, and I really appreciate it.
Okay, Cedrick, well, thank you for that. And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
You've been listening to Business Authority Radio with Neil Howe and Greg Williams. To learn more about the resources mentioned in today's show, or to listen to past episodes, visit businessauthorityradio.com.